Hello everybody, it is Tatum here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be showing you how to put in Bible tabs. Now, you're probably thinking, Tatum, why do I need this video? Bible tabs have directions on them. Why are you making this? It's literally a simple process. And I'm going to tell you this. I first put in Bible tabs for my first Bible. Okay? It was the most confusing process ever. The instructions were unclear. I didn't know what this bookmark thing was. It was just such a confusing and chaotic process. And so I want to make this video to help anybody out who's confused. If you're not confused, great. If you are, this video is for you. I recommend that you watch this video all the way through before you start putting in Bible tabs, just because there's going to be tips and tricks scattered throughout the entire thing. Just know that I am experienced. This purple Bible right here is going to be my 5th Bible that I am Bible tabbing, so I know what I'm doing. Just a little bit. I've had some experience. The Bible tabs that I'm going to be using in this video are Tabby's brand. This is the brand that I recommend. This is in no way sponsored or endorsed, but I really like these Bible tabs. I've tried other brands, I have, and this is just what I keep coming back to now. I really like them. These will be linked down below, and if I can try and find the link to this Bible, it will also be linked down below. But any tabs work. This video will work for any tabs you got. Any Bible you got. That's why I'm making this video. It suits everybody. The things you need to do this are Bible tabs, of course, and your Bible. Some sort of scissor or cutting tool, and then a ruler or measuring tape. Pretty simple. And time. And coffee, maybe. If you're a coffee drinker, I got some ice cream right here. Let's get into it. Just a disclaimer, you do not have to have Bible tabs. If you don't want Bible tabs and you're watching this video, you don't have to have them. It really is just a convenience factor. If you have a hard time flipping through your Bible, yes, Bible tabs could be cool, but they also make Bibles with built-in tabs. And I know a lot of people who can get through their Bible perfectly fine without them. So Bible tabs are not needed. It's not a necessity. It's just a convenience. The first thing you're going to want to do is become familiar with the Bible. If this is a new Bible, which this is a new Bible to me, you're going to want to flip through the pages, figure out, I have a table of contents right here. A lot of Bibles do. And then, we get right into Genesis there. But if you go to the back, there's usually some cool features depending on your Bible. So this is Jude. Let me go to the end of Revelation here. You see, this is where most Bibles get a little different. So how to read the Bible through. There's usually not a tab for that. History of the Bible. Sometimes there's tabs for that. I've had other tabs that have that tab. But you just want to kind of figure out where things are in your Bible. So I'll tell you in a second when I see it. So then there's probably teachings of Jesus. Yep, right there. Parables. Concordance. This is right here you can see all the things that talk about being baptized, and right here you can talk about apostles and things like that, and it probably goes through the whole alphabet. Oh, look, and then we have maps. So why is this important? This is when you familiarize yourself with your tabs. So I have my tabs here. You will see that in these tabs, and again, this is different for every tab. That's why you want to become familiar. There is charts, tables, maps, the concordance, there's topical index, just different things, help. There's different tabs for different things. I've had tabs for teachings of Jesus, just different things like that. So you want to become familiar with your tabs. You want to become familiar with the Bible. I know I'm not going to have to worry about all this fancy stuff until the end, so I'm not even going to worry about it right now. That's kind of the point I was trying to make. If it's not until the end of your Bible, you don't have to worry. But if there's some in the beginning of the Bible, you're going to want to line that up with where Genesis starts. So say you have 2 tabs before Genesis, you're going to want to line that up so it doesn't look wonky in your Bible later. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about this tab positioning guide. This thing is really what caused most of my problems when I first Bible tabbed because, I mean, it's pretty large, as you can see. And you can see here it says cut for Bibles, blah, 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 through blah, blah, blah. And then cut here for Bibles this and Bibles that. And I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to show you how to measure your Bible. So you flip it open, line it up, measure. So this is about an 8-inch Bible. Okay, y'all see that? 8 inches. You don't want to measure the cover because oftentimes the cover is bigger. So make sure you measure your Bible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my scissors. And then I'm going to cut this out. It doesn't have to be perfect. The instructions you can throw away because this video will be instructions enough. If you're confused on the instructions, obviously they weren't helpful. I don't even look at the instructions anymore because, well, I know how to do it, but also they were confusing anyway. So now we're going to find a line, cut here for 8-inch Bibles. So I'm going to cut along this line. It's a little hard to see my camera, so like if things are not centered, I do apologize. But because I have y'all standing up straight, like it's kind of hard. And then we have cut here for 8 and 8.5 inch Bibles. So here's what really confused me, right? I was looking at this my first time I was Bible tabbing, and I was like, why does this not fit the whole Bible length? You see this? It doesn't fit. That irritated me a lot because I was just so confused. So what you have to do is line it up with something that is going to be on every page. So right here, I'm going to line it up with under Leviticus. So I can see on every page, it's the book. I'm going to line it up right under there. Just so I know that this is like a common thing on every page and I can line it up and they can all be even. The last Bible I Bible tabbed had words down here, like little notes. So I was able to say, okay, it's under the book and it's right above the last line. If that makes sense. So your Bible, it's going to look different, but just try and find something on every page that you can line it up with. So I'm going to get into starting to Bible tab, and obviously you're going to watch me as I do it, but then I'm also going to say my tips and tricks. This is why I recommend you watch this video all the way through because these are in no particular order. I also want to say another disclaimer. If your Bible and Bible tabs have been sitting here for weeks and you just haven't started and you're feeling kind of bad because you haven't started, that is perfectly okay. My Bible has literally been sitting here for like a month. I've had these tabs for a really long time. And I just haven't tabbed it. I haven't found time to tab it because tabbing takes a very, very long time. So don't be upset at yourself if it's just sitting here and sitting here. Like it's fine. Don't be afraid to go to church with half of Bible tabbed because, you just haven't got to doing the rest. Like, literally, don't even be upset at yourself. You're working through it. It is a long process. Everyone knows it's a long process. Something that I recommend, if you're a person who likes to work in increments and likes to say like, oh, I'm halfway there, most Bible tabs come apart. You see I'm pulling it apart here. You want to be careful with this, obviously. But if you just want to do like 10 or I think it may be like 8 at a time, go ahead and pull this apart. Put this aside. And just work, okay, today I'm going to get this much done. That makes it so much easier, so much less overwhelming, just working in small batches. So what you do, can see the shadow of what I'm lining it up with. So you want your tab to be in the middle of the arrow. That is something that also confused me for my first go around. I was putting it on top of the arrow. It's like right here. And then it just looked weird. So if you see the 8 down here, this line, it's like the middle. So I'm going to go up here to 1. I've got it lined up. I'm going to put it in the middle of 1. What I'm going to do too, another tip, make sure that this is all the way flat first because you don't want an air bubble halfway through your tab. So really just go slow and make sure that you do it section by section. So I'm going to fold it in half, press down, and then I'll press down on the other part, just to make sure that I got no air bubbles in here. Another thing is making sure that you only tab 1 page at a time. This is something that I found really tricky at first, and I have messed up, and it is okay to mess up completely. It is okay if your Bible does not look perfect, but Just make sure that you're only tabbing one page. It's great to look at verses. So I know that this is verse 22. I flip over, I see verse 23. Great. Now I can press down and I know that I only have one page. If you do this and you mess up, and I've done it literally on my last Bible I just did like a week ago, I messed up on I got a few pages in there. You just want to slowly peel it off. Do not rip the tab off like a Band-Aid. That is not going to work. You are going to rip your page. If you need to peel it, slowly and surely peel it, and only peel what you have to. Do not be afraid if you mess up. Literally, especially if it's your first Bible, it might look bad. It might not be the prettiest thing you've ever done, but it's your Bible and no one else is going to care. If that's the thing you're worried about, oh, like people are going to think it looks bad. It's your Bible. It's your thing that you're working on. Nobody is going to care what it looks like except you. And if it's something that really bothers you, it shouldn't. Like, it really shouldn't. If you got to count over here, just go 1, 2. I have 2, so I know that now I'm on 3. Like that one, you can see there's a little bit too much gap in there. Like I can just see it. Might be hard to see on camera, but I didn't get close enough to the end of the page. So I slowly peeled it off and I move it. It's easiest to peel it off when it only has a little bit on there. So if you notice a mess up, fix it as soon as possible. Oh, if your book of the Bible starts over here, like mine is right here, you still want to tab on this page. All right, you still want to tab on this side just so it looks neat and uniform. It is a tedious process, okay? And it does take a long time. Even though this is my 5th Bible, this is going to take me a few good hours to do. And I'm probably only going to do as much tonight as I am for the video. And then I'm going to call it quits for the night because really, it's a long process. It is. So one thing I do want to point out, I didn't necessarily do right now, but once you get into the New Testament books, it does get pretty easy to do this. So say I'm flipping along, and this is Numbers, this is my next book, but say I accidentally flip to Deuteronomy. Don't just flip back to find your book. Put a bookmark in here. This is just the end of the tab positioning guide. Put this here, so now you find your book that you needed to go back to, but finding your next book is going to be so much easier because you bookmarked it. So like I said, this is a lot easier to do in the New Testament because the books are usually shorter. So if you're flipping back, put a bookmark in there. Make it easier on yourself to find your next book. What I like to do is run my finger across the page, the next page, so I know that I am only getting one page in there. Or look at page number or verses like I said earlier. It's like this is page 173, this is page 174. I know that I only have one page in there. The Tabby's brand does come with some practice tabs, so that's something that I would use like the end of the positioning guide to practice on. That's something really cool that this brand has. I don't think my other brands I've tried have had them, but if you got practice tabs, use them, especially if it's your first Bible. And look at that. I've already completed my first row. So I'm going to reward myself, you know, with a little hooray, I guess. A bite of my ice cream I have here. That is now extremely melted. And we're going to go on to the next strip. If you want to be done there, you can be done there and take a break. If you don't want to separate them at all, you don't have to. I usually don't, but for the sake of the video and for the sake of it being less overwhelming, I am separating them. But you ain't gotta. There's practice tab right here. I believe there's 2, but here's Joshua, so let's keep going. I hope you guys find this video helpful. I knew that Bible tabs for me, the first go around, it was so confusing, and I ended up not really liking how my Bible turned out because, you know, again, it was just a personal preference. Like, I personally didn't like how it turned out because I was just so new to it, and I was looking up videos and like, they were just like, oh, read the instructions, ha ha ha. No, it confused me. It made me upset. The tabs, they were a different brand than this, but they ended up being like just really wonky looking, and I didn't like it. I didn't like how it looked. And eventually, you know, as I used that Bible, and I love that Bible, my first Bible I ever tabbed. I love it now, but at the time, I didn't, and that made me really upset. I missed one. Ha! I was just looking, and I'm like, where's Judges? So I'm gonna put my bookmark in there, and I'm gonna go find the book that I need. So this is the 8th one. So this one's a little bit easier to like center because there's a line right here. For me, anyway. It depends on the size of your Bible, of course. But now I can just line it up so perfectly. And of course, since it's the 8th one, it's the last one. When I go to... Oh, see? They get stuck together real easily. Oh, see that? I didn't do it slow enough, and now there's like a big air bubble there. You can just flatten it out, and usually it'll be okay. But that's what I mean. It's best to do segment by segment. I was just getting a little carried away there. Now that was the 8th one, though, we're going to go back up to the top and start with number 1 for the book of Ruth. One thing that I wrote down that I would have completely forgot to say otherwise is that make sure your hands are clean when you're doing this. Not just because, oh, you're touching your Bible, you know, you don't want like cheesy chip fingers or something, but because of these little sticky things, you can see the fingerprints, and you can see them, you know, later on if you look close enough. And that's just something that kind of bothers me, because I'm like, oh, you can see my fingerprints. And obviously you can see your fingerprints anyway, but just if your fingers are greasy or dirty or anything, like, you can see it more, pretty much is what I'm saying. So you just want to have clean, dry hands when you do this. And one way to avoid that is to make sure you touch the Bible tab just in the center part where it's not the clearness. Sometimes that is hard, and I got big fingers, so I'm doing it right now, not even trying to. But just try and touch the center part. As, you know, try and get most of your fingerprint on the part you can't see. I'm going to do just a few tabs with, like, in a time-lapse kind of thing with some music, just so you can kind of get the groove if you want to do it along with me now at this point. That is all the tips that I've written down, but I'll probably find some more as I go along here. I always second guess my placement, and that is okay. But, you know, you don't have to second guess yourself. You know, you got this guide here. As long as it's like close enough, like, you'll be fine. I just messed up. Did y'all see that? You probably saw that, because this isn't even the book. I just flipped a page and oh no. This is okay. Mistakes happen. We're just going to slowly pick at this until I can get enough to grab it. I shouldn't have cut my nails already, because longer nails would help. It's okay to get a little upset if you mess up, but just know you gotta keep going. And it's okay to mess up. Everybody makes mistakes. Me, this is literally my 5th Bible, like I said multiple times, and I'm still messing up. Forgive me for moving the Bible. I need light. That's another tip. Make sure you do this in a well-lit environment, or you'll probably be messing up more than you want to. See, look at that. I tried the other side. It is peeling up the ink just a tiny bit, but most of the time, this Bible just has small margins or whatever, so... And that's the thing. Do not peel over this part, because this will get messed up. So you're going to want to stop. Make sure you have it stuck to you, and then just peel this part. Do not peel the plastic that is over the actual tab. I've done that before, and then it just peels off all the ink and it looks bad. See, that looks okay for being a mess up, and I know that I messed up. Like, it looks completely fine. Now I'm actually going to flip to the right book and do it, because I don't even know. I just like was in the zone and I just flipped the page. It happens. So now we're going to fix it, and it's going to look like nothing ever happened. See, and it is a little hard to do it once it is like a peel off, but you can usually get it. in the right spot still. Ta-da! It's like it never even happened. That's how you recover from making a mistake, really. Obviously, I didn't do it on purpose, and earlier in the video, I showed you what to do in case you did make a mistake, but then I got to walk you through it, because I did it. And that's completely fine. I panicked a little bit, and that's okay, but in the end, I peeled it off, no problem, and everything's fine now. I was hoping this video wouldn't be too short. I was like worried, oh, this is going to be like a 3-minute video. I think I'm at like 30 minutes of footage. Yeah, we're rolling on 30 minutes of footage right now. I don't know how I was thinking that this would be too short. I'm going to do one more tab, and I think that is going to be the end of this video. Alrighty, so I just finished my second row. I'm going to call it quits for the night because I have to wake up early tomorrow. Okay, guys, I'm coming at you a few days later. My brother this is his Bible he just got. He's having a problem that the tab positioning guide is too small for his Bible. So I'm going to show you what to do in this instance to where your Bible is too small for the guide. Bible here is 6 inches. So what we're going to do is we're going to say this is for 7 or 7.5. So it's going to be 1 inch. There's 1 inch in between each of these lines. So we're going to go up 1 inch and cut it here. So I'll show you in a second when I cut it. So I'm going to go up 1 inch. So as you can see, I just cut it along that 1 inch line that I made with a pen. And now we are going to line it up right under the Deuteronomy right there. Or right above, like pretty much covering the words. It's under Deuteronomy. That is the perfect spot where you would line it up in this Bible. So if your Bible's too small for the tab positioning guide, just go in 1 inch increments and you'll be all set. Post it on my community tab on my YouTube when it's all done. That is the start of a beautifully tabbed Bible. So if you look at it like this, everything's lining up perfectly. It looks like nice little steps. Obviously, when you get to the New Testament, it's going to be a little more crowded. Don't think that it's not, because these books are really close together when you get into the New Testament, especially. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll have everything that I can linked down below. The Bible and the tabs that I prefer. Yet again, not sponsored, not endorsed by any of these products. I do not make any commission from that. That's just there for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.